Couple of notes. Like I said, we just getting back into not uh, not a whole lot of new action, but a few names returning back to the Green Tree were Jacob Lichtenstein. He was in a non-contact red jersey, as well as freshman tight end Riley Williams. But they were out there, and as well as Michael Redding the third, also in the non-contact. And Akeem Mesidor, he was back, and he was a full participant. So that was good to see. He's probably our best defensive line player. So uh, good to see him back out there and hopefully healthy. He came into us a little banged up last year, and he played a good bit of games, majority of the games, but he did miss a little bit. So hoping we can bring him in healthy and keep him fairly healthy this year. Um, Injuries was kicking our ass last year, and I tell him still gonna be looking at mustache man if this year is just everybody just hurt again, man.
Shout
All
out to
that
the
shit
mustache doing
cool.
that shit fire, man.
All that shit look cool and yeah, all that hype video shit. But all my players keep getting hurt. I got to start looking at somebody. Um,
I learned this is my lesson, and it's like I learned from cause we had what's my man named the last regime. Kush is big. Even though y'all don't see
Strong.
smoke, the Kush is big. But our last strength and conditioning dude was just a big screamer on social. Nick
Yeah,
Savage is his name. Shout out my
I knew it
man
was
Nick
something like that.
Savage. Yeah, but I want my strength and conditioning guy low key. I don't need the big mustaches and you know all in the video.
Big injuries, big mustache, big injuries. Hey man, what is you teaching? Everybody hurt.
Grooming techniques.
Yeah, you want your shit to curl like this in the corner. You got to use some beeswax.
That's exactly what you gotta use. All right, nonetheless,
Anyway,
back to football.
back to the serious business of football. Um, Not a lot of shakeup so far as rotations and teams. I think the most interesting look was the second team um, offensive line, mainly because Okunlola is out at second team left tackle, Lawrence Seymour left guard, Ryan Rodriguez is at center, Logan Sagapalu is at right guard. But the biggest surprise to me was Michael McLaughlin. He was a kid that was he went to Stoneman Douglas, and he was a tight end kid. Um, but he kind of looked to project that his frame was going to get a lot bigger. So he's a big kid. But when he got out there last year, man, and we was playing Pitt, oh, that boy was getting abused, man. I started to call the people on him. So to see him elevate, hopefully this is a good sign of development and coaching. Because he was just, and I wasn't even not even just pick on him. It was just when you play in Pitt, typically you playing a lot of grown men. These are a lot of guys. They get a lot of South Florida guys too that may be a little underrated, and they take those guys in 3 to 4 years and turn them into NFL prospects. Um, I think he was going against Cansey a lot, man, and he was just getting his ass whooped. So good on him if this is a sign of the future, and also good for the staff to say they can take a kid like that I watched look just really out of place and elevate his game. Um,
Not getting blown by this fall.
man,
If he's whiffing, then it'll be like,
bruh, it was embarrassing. Like I felt bad for him. Like I wanted to have to look at that tape. I was like, oof. If I notice you that much at O line is not
right.
good in the game. I shouldn't notice you that much in the live game.
I just
Um,
want to see your man cut his arms and legs off this fall if the O line ain't. You gotta have a caterpillar coach.
He gonna be he'll be looking like that pirate dude on Family Guy with 4 pegs.
Yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
got
yeah.
2 peg arms and 2 peg legs.
No doubt.
Yeah, that was a crazy thing to say, and it was so funny. I was like, "Ooh, boy, you went out on a limb," and that O line was not too nifty.
Yeah,
Um,
now he's gonna have no limbs.
yeah, now you running around. Yeah, now you running around with all your legs and arms, like you said, you was not gonna have. I mean, I can't trust you. little shake up at linebacker, nothing major. Francisco Maligo is still on first team, but Keontra Smith moved up over Wesley Bassett. Let's see how that goes. I still think Wesley will end up securing that job by the time we actually get around to football. Um, Anything else kind of interesting there? Uh, Skinner still second team tight end. Not really surprised because they really like the Cam McCormick guy. He's 25, I think. So he should be, a better college player than Jaleel. But Jaleel's got a lot of upside. He still, to my understanding, still needs to put a little weight on. Um, and of course, he did have some situations where I just felt like he had a case of the dropsies. So he got to secure the hands a little bit. Not terribly mad at that. I just want to see him step it up another level. I'm sure he good.
Could he flex out like a Kyle Pitts? Is that an option?
I would imagine, yeah. I mean, he's an athletic kid. Um, I definitely think there'll be packages where we'll see him. Yeah, we'll see him flexed out of the line. Um, but he got to catch that ball too, and that's where my bigger concern really is. Is I'm not overly concerned about him like necessarily getting the mass. It's just for the collegiate game, I'm looking at it more for durability, making sure you be able to take some of the hits out there. But I think athletically, yeah, I think you can flex him outside. Um, but when he did get his opportunity, I've seen him. I saw him in games take nice little catches and get some yak, and I seen him hit him right in the palms and he dropping it. It's just like, man, we can't have that. Tight ends got to be the best hands on the team, man. You're gonna be the safety valve for your quarterbacks usually. So you need to make sure that when he look to you, he knows it's a catch. So I'd like to see him step up in that regard. Outside of that, nothing real, no other real major shakeups, no real major surprises right now. I'd say early on, I would still say the concerns will be looking in the next window to I would imagine to try to get another corner still, um, another defensive tackle. I mean, CJ joked about it, but I mean, it's true. We brought in those guys from Purdue and Georgia State, and they did. You gotta give Purdue his props for you going up against a big boy old lineman. These guys are undersized. These boys are 6'1", man. So they're a little on the shorter side, man. That ain't funny, man, but it's funny.
That's
yo,
hilarious, man.
like, yo, bro. Yeah,
6'6", but I'm also an offensive lineman.
right. Yeah. You're not D tackle, Um,
Right.
and I know like Mario's had Armstead I always blank on cuz name. He left us because both of them played for the Niners. But he's had those 6'7" interior defensive tackles that could really wreak havoc. And so I know he know this ain't the vibes really, but it's like, well, we gotta get some bodies in the room. You might as well stack them two boys on top of each other.
Yeah, if I'm
By
six
all
one in
accounts.
defensive, if I'm 6'1" in the defensive tackle, and I'm at University of Miami, I'm living my best life in my dreams. My dreams are
Oh
coming
yeah,
true.
man.
I'm living above
Absolutely.
my ceiling.
Absolutely. Now get their ass out the way and give me some 6'5" dudes, man, 6'4" dudes to take up some wingspan and hold that middle up.
You think that's
Especially as far as the Russian defense. Go ahead.
that's more important moves y'all make this offseason?
Yeah, if absolutely, if available. I mean, Daryl Jackson was a huge loss for us. I knew it coming up when the buzz was getting out there that he'd probably be going back to Florida State, or going to Florida State, heading back home. That was going to be a major loss for us because we don't have that same body type. Ahmad Moten probably be closest to that. He has reshaped his body some. He's a 6'4" guy, so he's more in that traditional role. But we got to see what he can ultimately become. Uh, you still got Harrison Hunt, who's athletic, bigger guy as well. Need him to kind of stay healthy. This should be a real money year for him if he's trying to make any noise. He needs to kind of remain healthy and take it up a notch this year for himself personally. So we got some bodies there. I don't think we have enough at the as far as that run stopping type. So yeah, I would absolutely look for them to see if they can add at least a body type. I mean, you don't want to just bring in people. Um, is then it's just you're just wasting time and resources. But if there's anything available that'll be in that that larger frame, run stopping type defensive tackle, I absolutely expect them to attack that. Same thing. They did attack the portal for corner, but it still seems everything I'm hearing. It just still seems to be a lot of uncertainty there. Um, you got Damari Brown coming in, but he's American Heritage kid, so they can't they don't early enroll. And I think the class in general is what is good. Same thing for Stafford. He's down here. He's right around the corner from me, actually, at Ugali. Same thing. He couldn't early enroll. So, and he may need a little time, So I would imagine if there's another body they could add, I would imagine they would go there as well. And the attraction is, I think you could definitely come in at corner and you can get your spot. You can definitely get your spot at corner. We lost our top two in Ivy and Stevenson, and that's why I kind of mess with the fan base. They'll dog Ivy, but I'm like, all right, if he came back this year, he would have been our best corner. And
Yikes.
you know, well, you know how it is. You play corner. People want to highlight the lowlights. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
all in all, the guy was not as nearly as bad. It's just a bad play. It's just like, oh, woof, huge blow ups. But I mean, that's gonna always pop more. Uh, so yeah, again, got to show up that position. So if there's something available, I do believe they'll go there. Uh, that's really about it as far as spring ball goes right now. They just got on the with the shells or whatever. So it's not full pass just yet. I think might be this next practice coming up Thursday. So today as we record, they had a break. They practiced yesterday, and yeah, they'll be practicing again Thursday and Saturday, I believe, this week is the
It's
game plan.
early.
Man.
It's early as hell,
Oh
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Y'all making a bowl this year, bro?
Yeah. I'm gonna go out on a limb, man. I'm going out on a limb. I don't think we could
You
be
and
any worse than
Mirrorball about to
seven
be
and
on that
five.
same about boys about to be caterpillars, man.
Nah, I ain't say I eat my arms. Chew my arms and legs off. Not based on no damn hurricane, but I'd have been out of here. If I bet on us like that. Yeah, I think worst case scenario, this is 7-5 team. I think that's as bad as we could be this year. 6-6 still get you in, but I don't think we'll be 6-6.
Both sides of your trenches sound suspect as hell. It's nerve wracking hearing both sides of your trenches, and that shit is everything. That's my saving grace right now this year. Last year was Anthony Richardson, him possibly being able to elevate everybody's play, but right now my saving grace is just both sides of the trenches winning us some games.
Well, see, I believe they lies last year, and they had me amped about the O line. Um, I feel better this year, but that's because of the additions we brought in. But I don't want to go out lying again. But it is spring. Let me go ahead and lie. Fuck it.
Let's go. What else you gonna
Yeah. Who cares? The O line I think will be much improved from last year, and I think a big issue with last year with the O line too is just the injuries. We just didn't have any depth. If we would have had, I think if we would have had ideally our starting five for the majority of the season, I think it would have been a much better group. But Zion being out all year, I still haven't heard no word on him out there at all. Even just like in a brace on the sidelines. Now that I think about
Is he
that, but
alive? Like
yeah,
that
he's
shit.
out here somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah.
the brother's still kicking. We ain't gonna kill him.
Did he put any tweets out?
Have not seen one tweet, uh, but I think he's still somewhere around the campus. Um, but yeah, I kind of mentioned it last show. I think the left side, I think, will be pretty solid altogether. Just with Javion Cohen coming over from Bama, get Zion back, and then Andy. Wait, it's not Andy Lee, whatever his name, Lee, the center from UCF. So I think you take from the center over to the left side. I think we're really good, and I think the right's going to be good as well. I just think that's where the bigger competition will be. Inez Cooper's a
Gotcha.
guy that I kind of watched as the season went on. He got more reps. They were really high on him. He was a kid out of Alabama. he had a few. He didn't have like a ton of big time offers or whatever. But I think they did a good job evaluating that kid. He seems real mean, nasty, engages and finishes. So I really like him at right guard. I think he will probably lock down the right guard spot. Um, and then I don't know if Maui Gola holds on to it, but I mean he's a 5-star kid. He already has they've already praised his technique and body type to be ready to play. So you know, usually I don't want to see no freshman starting, but a 5-star kid, hey, if he's ready, he's ready. Let him get out there and do his thing. So we'll see. I think the right side is where it gets a little more murky because Jalen Rivers is still one of our better players, and he's been starting at left tackle in Zion's absence. So it's kind of hard for me to imagine a situation where Jalen Rivers isn't in the starting lineup, but could be, or unless Zion don't come back and he stays at left. Because now that I just said that, I really have realized I haven't heard one thing about Zion. So if anybody knows anything, man, tell him Larion looking for him.
All
Just
right.
make sure he's okay. I don't, unfootball related. Just make sure the brother's all right out there, man.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Make sure he's still
and then
playing
the
and whatnot.
defensive trenches, I think we got some bodies there. Not too concerned. Uh, like I say, just I don't want to get too banged up. Them little fellas coming in, man. But they pass rushers. They're gonna be my NASCAR package. Branson Dean and Thomas Gore, I
Man,
think.
go kart package. Them little boys.
Cold blooded.
fucking,
Cold blooded.
fucking
The
go
go
kart
kart
package is
package. That's
hilarious.
funny as hell, bro. I don't want to laugh, but it's good.
It's okay to laugh, man.
Yeah. The go kart package. I like
We do
that.
got to talk about